I get it.
I got you.
It's GMS until the elect sealed.
Mm, 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 mm.
You know, should have been more professional, but it's alright. Shit, I don't even see it. Shit, if it's live or not. You see it, Tim, any chance?
It ain't popping yet. Yeah, we did. Oh.
Huh?
Hold on.
Yeah, it says it's recording. It says it's live. So I don't do this live shit. It's annoying.
Mm. Until the elect.
Sealed. Oh, I should go to my other channels here.
Yeah, we live.
Alright, we live and direct. Alright, cool, Daddy. Alright, first of all, we want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and the few sisters out there. Once it is like foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. It's going to be a quick show through the Spirit of the Lord. Here with Brother Gabar Yahweh.
Yep.
Hawaii. Just press the record button. You know what I mean? You don't have to make it all fancy. All that good stuff. And I was watching a particular video that a brother had put up. Arrows of Indignation. He had put up some, I believe it was a former person that worked with Trump that was dealing with the economy, and basically the average American by the next year, which is in a couple of days, is gonna be over $100,000 in debt. So that $100,000 in debt, which the average American cannot afford, is gonna make America that was once a first world country to not even a third world country. All right, the average person right now is relying on their credit cards just to get by.
Yeah.
All right, people are financially retarded. Okay, because people live beyond their means.
Yep.
In other words, nobody know how to budget correctly. Nobody know how to set aside necessary things from unnecessary things. Yeah, that's part of budgeting, but in reality, you don't need to eat 4 or 5. You don't need to eat 5 times a day. All right. You don't need certain things that you have. But since it has been a first world country, and the elites had made you to be nothing but fat cats, you have gotten to an uncomfortable matter when it comes down to your own detriment. And never before, because I was watching a video, when did they ever talk about the U.S. debt like that?
Yeah.
Or how many people is going to be in debt like that? Hardly anybody.
Yeah.
At any time, they never make mention of it.
Mm-hmm.
They making mention of it because of the simple fact is they're letting you know. Remember, Esau is called it was the method of revelation. They have to let you know. They're revealing to you what they're doing without telling you what they're doing. That's why everybody's out there trying to understand why the economy, inflation, and so forth. Now they're telling you that it's going to be a crash going to take place.
Yeah.
All right. You gonna say something?
Yeah, no, they just making they're making it so bad that they're creating the reasons for the economy to collapse.
Right.
Too much debt.
Right.
It says right here on a U.S. debt clock. It says the debt per citizen is $100,996, right? And then
Right. So basically, it's impossible because just to survive your everyday life in Babylon today, you can't even survive that. All right, and more people are taking credit cards, and they know that. They actually know what people is gonna do because they like we was talking about it the other day when the way they're gonna test the economy really technically. Oh, we was at camp. Sorry, how they're gonna test the economy is by Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
The Christmas sales.
Yeah.
So they use live and direct statistics on you people and your spending power, and if you did spend on Christmas or not.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they're gonna determine if the economy is really healthy. And what they coming to realize, people are not spending no more. They're kind of budgeting.
Mhm.
But what's Intel? What are they doing? They keep giving you credit cards.
Yeah.
Keep feeding you credit cards, knowing that you can't afford it, that you're gonna default eventually,
Mhm.
but they still giving it to you. Why?
Overinflating the economy, overinflating the people's spending power.
Right. Because they deliberately doing that so that way you can be in eternal debt. But finish what you had?
Yeah. So it says debt per citizen is $100,996. So that's that debt is not counted towards your personal debt you already have. So if you know, like you got a lot of people that pride themselves on having a such credit score and minimum personal debt, but they don't realize that they're in $100,000 debt right now.
Right.
You know.
And then you have to add the fact that people went to college.
Yeah. So that's where you got college debt too.
Right.
So like I said, you got individuals in this country that pride themselves on having good credit and little to no debt.
Right.
Then you got people who went to school who got $100,000. So you already got $100,000 in school debt. Now you already got every citizen is $100,000 in debt. So you're $200,000 in a hole.
Right.
So even if you thought about paying your way out of this debt, because you can't do it, but let's say you did, because every U.S. citizen is collateral for the bankers. So you in debt to the bankers,
Mm-hmm.
to the elite bankers,
Mm-hmm.
the Feds, the
So-
Federal Reserves, $100,996. That's per citizen. Now, not every citizen pays taxes, so you got debt per taxpayer,
Mm-hmm.
$259,000.
Mm-hmm.
So not only are you $100,000 in personal debt, but if you're paying taxes, now you're $259,000 in debt.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's what you owe the bankers. Okay, and you're not going to be able to pay that off. As it stands right now, the current U.S. national debt is 253,253,000 and counting.
Damn. So that's beyond anybody's average person getting out of that. And then the celebrities that have money, they in a higher debt bracket because they be in advance. The money's being advanced. Esau has been playing a dirty trick on everybody's mind for a long period of time. I remember back in the days when you see somebody with a brand new car, you're like, oh, they bought themselves a brand. They never bought. They leased it. That was just a higher debt. So now everybody's in the idea of a debt crisis. All right.
Yeah, they said the three highest, largest budgets right now is Medicare and Medicaid, Social Security, and Defense for War.
So let's break it down. Medicare and Medicaid. That means you gotta be sick as fuck to get any type of anything. Even if you're healthy,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna rely on the system to help you. All right. So they in debt with that. And after 2020, everybody's insurance went up.
Yeah.
All right.
Shit, mine just went up just this year. Yep. My
Then-
insurance went up this year.
We were talking about earlier about cars,
Mm-hmm.
which is a luxury, which is what also having a car is a privilege.
Mm-hmm.
That went up for used cars. So we went from a first world country for hundreds of years till now. Everybody's struggling. The average person is struggling. Okay, you can get the scriptures because this is all part of Esau's doing.
Yeah, real quick
Go
before we
ahead.
get Ecclesiasticus 19. This is the book of
Proverbs.
I'm sorry. This is the book of James, chapter 5, verse 1.
Mhm.
Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your misery that shall come upon you.
And it's not talking about somebody that making the money bracket, the statistics or the Forbes magazine of saying how
Yeah.
rich they are, or because they have X amount of millions of dollars. This person's network. It's talking about the people that doesn't have a network, the people that you don't see. Okay, how are we talking about the rich people, the rich, the elites, how are they gonna weep and howl? What's gonna make them weep and howl? They're gonna weep and howl because everything they have gotten it by ill-gotten gains.
Yep.
All right. Now there's a little bit more to that.
Yeah.
You're gonna hold it and you're gonna go to the other one because it's something very important.
So Rock 19.
Yeah, but before, read the first verse again. James.
James 5:1.
Mm-hmm.
Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you.
Keep going.
Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth eaten.
Mm-hmm.
Your gold and silver are cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh.
So how can gold and silver be eating your flesh or doing all that is a witness against him because how he got in it by ill-gotten gains.
Yeah.
All right. It's not about how powerful they were. They took it by force, deadly force. Okay. This is how this man did that.
Yeah.
So what's gonna ultimately end up? All those riches that they gotten by ill-gotten gains is gonna be flown back to us. Period. Okay. It's gonna be flown back to us because the Lord's gonna take that from them.
Yeah.
All right. They started. Remember, damn show, not Duckweed Duck.
Well, was Scrooge McDuck in it?
Yeah. But DuckTales.
Yeah.
And you had Scrooge McDuck had a tower where he had all his gold and he was swimming it. He would take his daily swim in his money.
Yeah.
All right. So with Esau's deadly, these elites, when you look at, there's a video of even the people that monitoring their gold have to wear gloves and so forth, and they just gaze at it.
Yeah.
And gold and silver, in reality, gold and silver is also used for medicinal use as well. It's something not to be gawked at. It's something to be used.
It has intrinsic values.
Yes, and what they do, they don't intend to use it at its full value. So all that shit is coming against this man. Now they could easily wipe out all this debt, all right, 10 times over, but they rather not. They rather keep these people indebted to them because it's a bigger massive plan. And how they doing this? Well, that's why Ecclesiastes 19 gets into it, because they'll tell you as a person that there's no such thing as a higher power, but they themselves use the left hand side of the Most High to get their riches.
Oh,
all right.
Well, there's a article from a old circular that went out in this country, and it says this. It says it's called the History of the Hazard Circular. It says slavery is likely to be abolished by the war power and chattel slavery destroyed. This I and my European friends are in favor of, for slavery is but the owning of labor and carries with it the care of the laborer, while the European plan led on by England is capital control of labor. By controlling wages, this can be done by controlling the money. Hazard Circular 1862. So they're using, like the elder said, this debt. They're basically weaponized debt. So they, like the elder said, it's not going to be cleared because they're using it for a higher purpose, and it's really to keep you enslaved. So when a new system come in, that's going to be one of the key factors for a lot of people to get to see it.
We got to build to that, brother. That's why we got to build to that.
Yeah.
Because the C-hip is the ultimate end game.
Yeah.
All right. But before they got to the C-hip, they had to have people sit there and spend and live a certain type of lifestyle.
Yeah.
So before you can get to that ultimate thing, you have to have people accustomed.
Yeah.
All right. To a certain lifestyle, and that's what the people have been accustomed to. Okay, now you get that.
Ecclesiasticus 19:1. A laboring man.
No, 19 and 22.
Salakia 19 and 22. It says the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom.
The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. Although they use their knowledge on the left hand side, and it deems to be wisdom because what they consider themselves the illuminated ones. All right. They don't use, remember, you gotta understand the power of the mind. They already have the mind. I don't have $1 on me right now, but they have the minds of the
right
people.
here.
You got $1?
Yeah.
All right. It's $1. Rich, my brother.
Yeah,
All right, so they got you
faith.
your faith in this. All right, and this is technically is a talisman.
Yeah.
All right, a talisman with many inscriptions in it, and this right here holds more power than anything on earth. So they put this idea that this right here is power. Now, if you look up you don't have to look it up. If you look up talisman, talisman is something for good luck or protection. The more you have, the more of this that you have, the more protection that you have.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You could buy yourself out of anything.
Yeah.
All right? Even murder in this society.
Yeah.
So this is what became your God.
Yeah.
All right? So this is what they've been throwing in their face all these years.
Yeah,
All
like you said earlier, we were out and I had made a statement like, man, we need to hurry up and get out of here, man, and get this money. I had said something about the lottery. I was looking at the lottery when I was speaking, and the elder said, yo, money ain't going to deliver us up out of here. And I was like, you absolutely right. It's not going to deliver us. But the vast majority of the people in this society believes that money is going to be the key to everything.
Right.
If you get you enough money, you can live as good as you want. You can be free as good as you want. You basically have access as much as you want, and that's not it.
Right.
This whole kick about Jake talking about generational wealth, but it's not the wealth that's going to free us from this condition. It's
Right.
your how about your shot.
Because that's something that goes back to the Egyptians and so forth. All these heathens, that's what they believed in. They literally believed that money was going to get them out of that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I talk too much. It's Genesis. I think it's Genesis 46. Just real quick.
Okay.
I believe it's Genesis 46. Or Genesis 46 and 20 something. Let me see if I'm correct. So they got the majority of you people in this trick bag. Now they're about to pull the plug of this. The same thing that you gave strength to. It's not 46. There, okay. Genesis 47 about. Give me a second. Damn, I always bring this up.
Can you paraphrase it?
Basically, he was getting into the 7 years of plenty and the 7 years of famine.
This is well, let me read it. I'm gonna start at 13. This is Genesis 47:13. And there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of famine.
Right.
And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt,
Right.
and in the land of Canaan for the corn which they bought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. And when the money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, and all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth. And Joseph said, give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle if money fail. And
so it's what you call a barter system, real resources for substance that it wasn't of worth. But there's more.
It says, and they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses, and for flocks, and for cattle of herds, and for the asses, and he fed them with bread for all their cattle for all that year. When the year was ended, they came up unto the second year and said unto him, we will not hide it from my Lord, how that our money is spent. My Lord also have our herds of cattle. There is not aught left in the sight of my Lord, but our bodies and our lands.
So there you go. So Esau's knowledge is not knowledge that he came up with like a real smart individual. He learned from the scriptures.
Yeah.
Because that's what they did. So for exchange for food, they gave up their bodies.
And lands.
And their lands. So they give up real resources, cattle, all right? Their resources in order to eat.
So they said the first resource was their money,
right,
which had to be gold and silver. And when that fell, they gave up their cattle.
Right.
And when the cattle fell, they gave up their bodies and their land.
Right.
So they basically became slaves.
There you go.
They beat all these different nations around. That's what made Egypt a superpower. When the Lord sent Joseph into Egypt, and then the 7 years of plenty and 7 years of dearth. because all of that, those 7 years, well, it was like 14 years altogether.
Right.
So those 14 years allow Egypt to gather world resources so they can dominate the area at that particular moment in time. And that's what made them stronger. But then it also, too, those nations that went to them for food, all right? Because that's what it is. That's a resource that everybody needs is food, you know? So food, give us food. Anyway, it says, so I don't know if Doom, but he said, once people went to him for these things, they end up having to give him themselves, man.
Yep.
And their lands. And it wasn't something, it wasn't temporary. It was permanent.
Right.
So now Egypt not only had gold, silver, not only do they have plenty of cattle, you know what I'm saying? And they could set the price for all those things as much as they wanted. Now they had slaves and they had land. You know, and this is before they made us slaves in the land.
Right.
So these people gave themselves up willingly for that.
Right.
And that's what's going to happen in this society.
Right. But it was back in this society. It's backwards.
Yeah.
We was already slaves.
Mm-hmm.
But now people are going to give up something even far greater.
Yep.
That's going to be their souls.
Yep.
For just to provide, to maintain what they have.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So there's a diabolical plan that this man has accomplished. All right, and the majority of people cannot comprehend that because the majority of people doesn't understand what's going on. They're making their next move. 2024 could be that ultimate crash, and within that ultimate crash, it could be a distraction or just crash the economy. Period. Yeah. But it's a little bit.
Yeah, I want to keep reading a little bit more.
Not Genesis. Genesis, that was a point.
Oh, it says something right here in verse 20 that I was going to
go ahead.
So it says, finishing 19 off, buy us our land for bread, and we in our land will be servants unto Pharaoh, and give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate. And Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for the Pharaohs, for the Egyptians sold every man his fill, because of the famine prevailed over them, so the land became Pharaoh's. And as for the people, he removed them to cities. Yeah, hey, that's what they trying to do to us now, bro. Right. That's the same shit.
Smart cities.
Slacky.
Yeah,
that's the same shit.
Which is smart cities.
Yeah.
Because when you force the people who had their own land, and you put them in a consolidated area.
Yep.
What do you tend to do? You could control them even now. You could really control them.
Yeah.
And those other lands that it was given, that could be given to your statesmen.
Yeah.
And then people that need the rich to stay richer.
Yeah.
Because it's going down to two classes.
Yeah.
And there's the very rich
and the very poor.
And that's it. No more middle class. The middle class sector is dead.
After that 19 happened, that was it. That was the nail in the coffin for the middle class.
Yeah. A little bit more time.
Yep, sir. It says, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And as for the people, he removed them to cities from one end of the borders of Egypt even to the other thereof.
And that's how you say they will say like there's too much people here and there.
Yeah. So that's where population control come in. Right. Now we can control the population. Well, shit. In Saudi Arabia, they got something they building right now called the line.
Yeah.
And they say that people just gonna live in that line. It's a 15-minute city too. People just gonna live in and out of that line. They're not even gonna be able to get out of it.
Right.
And it's in the middle of the desert.
Right.
Everything that you need for immediate access is gonna be in there. Right. Now, people had the question like, what's to say the quality of these things? One. Secondly, what's gonna stop people from bugging out? And they always show you in these post-apocalyptic movies or these what they call it's not utopian, it's the opposite of a utopian. Dystopian films. How people are just living at the behest of the system.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then they're not living well. Well, Klaus Schwab. This nigga said, you're gonna have nothing to be happy.
Yeah.
Where in the scriptures do it tell you that you're gonna have nothing to be happy?
Yeah.
Where in the scriptures where the Lord give you an inheritance and tell you your inheritance is nothing, you just be happy? Yeah. And that's not the case. But Esau, he think he the Most High. And like the elder said, and we just brought it out here, they're just trying the same thing over that the pharaohs did.
Right.
They're going to create the system for famine. Yeah. They're going to create the system for hostility. Or what's his name? He was the vice president, George something Cheney. I think his name was George Cheney.
Oh no
something
no
like
no, Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney, the
We
water.
had Halliburton.
Yeah,
He was
he
responsible
said.
by Halliburton, which is a private sector.
Yeah, he said that there's going to be an event where people are going to give us their rights.
Yeah.
He said it's going to be
that might be Henry Kissinger.
No, it was Cheney. It was
Oh.
Dick Cheney.
Oh.
Dick Cheney said that there's going to be an event that's going to happen where people are going to give us their rights, man.
Yeah.
And,
What's the main thing that's gonna do that? Could be a cyber attack.
Yeah, yeah.
Which a cyber attack, because everybody's glued to their phones.
Mm-hmm.
All right, they're glued to this technology that this man produced. That's why you gotta go back to Sirach 19 and 22, because when you read that down, it pretty much gives you an idea how the wicked is responsible for everything.
Yes.
All right, because their knowledge is in wickedness.
Yep.
All right, everything they're doing is not of their own accord. They're doing it because they are repeating the same thing that everybody else did.
Yep.
All right, there's nothing new under the sun. That's why the brother read Genesis the 47th chapter, showing you that what that's the same thing what they was doing back then. They want to put that electronic oil on everybody, and the best way to make everybody say give up their whatever rights that they have. Here it is. You have a little bit of resources, and the little resources that he allows you to give, he's trying to take everything from you and give you back absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. While the super elite get to enjoy the fruits of the earth.
Exactly.
And they get to come out in full view, because once they have you in these 15-minute cities, you ain't got no more power. Ain't gonna be no revolting. Ain't gonna be no marching in their eyes. That's what they say.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be none of that. What's that speech that incite people to go against the grain?
You're talking about it's not insurrection.
I forget what it's called. It's in Second Ezra chapter 50. Sedition.
Okay.
All right. None of that sedition is gonna go on, and if it do, they're gonna get it quick.
Yeah.
And that's why the CHIP is something that they not only gonna be tracking you, you're gonna be paying for, but they can control you with it. Which my man Aaron Russo said. He said, if you're like any of us, if you speak against the system, they'll just cut it off and you can't live.
Yeah.
They said if you owe any money, any taxes, we'll just take it out.
Yeah.
He said that some of the elite, they're gonna get a chip that says KMA, which is kiss my ass. And then everybody else, that's why the Council of Foreign Relations got all these different people a part of it. And they try to recruit him for the Council of Foreign Relations. And Nick Rockefeller told him the whole deal. He told him right there because he was like, oh yeah, we could use this guy.
Yeah, because of influences.
Yeah, and that's what the Council of Foreign Relations is. They're just individuals who are used to influence the people, whether political, actors, entertainers, athletes. These people are a part of this organization, and they're going to use them to influence them to go along with this new system.
Yep.
You know, and then what is their reward? You know, that land that they done took.
Yeah.
All that property they done took. All of that gold and silver they done took, and access and control over slaves.
Because when you have a land, like the land grab that they did, especially after Gad, they removed Gad out of certain places. There was a land grab from all these Edomites, right? That became a generational thing that they passed down.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're gonna remove all sorts of ideas that the average person, even amongst their own, can not be able to inherit land.
Yeah.
And they're gonna give it. That's why they pass laws of stating of if a land gets like the train wreck that took place.
Oh yeah.
The government could take that land because it's toxic.
Yeah.
Right?
Eminent domain.
Right. So these are the things that they're doing to put in place so they can remove everybody in that land. And not everybody's gonna get into these 15-minute cities, and not everybody's gonna get a CHIP.
Yeah.
It's only the people that they deem worthy to do that. There's gonna be a lot of people in the outskirts. That's why you guys watch movies like Logan Run, and all these other dystopia type of movies to show you how they have separated certain people from other people. But go back to that.
Yep. Sirach 19:22. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence.
So that's they'll call themselves the illuminated ones. All right. Because everything that they're doing on his behest of the Lord's and the Most High's left-hand side of the force, literally. Mm-hmm. All right? That's all they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay? Removing your rights, your God-given rights, that's the Lord's doing.
Yeah.
Because the people abuse themselves So the Esau is on the behest. They're nothing but agents of the Heavenly Father on the left hand side. But read on.
Yep. It says, the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time counsel of sinners prudence. There is a wickedness in the saying and an abomination, and there is a fool wanting wisdom.
And there's a fool wanting wisdom. Now, there's a scripture. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get that real quick. Because it's one of my favorite scriptures. All right. You're going to wonder why they do what they do. Because there's something that they lack themselves. All right. And that what they lack is proper knowledge. Let me get that real quick. What if? Proverbs 28:16, it says, the prince that wanteth understanding is also a great oppressor, but he that hateth covetousness shall prolong his days. So the prince that wanteth understanding is a great oppressor. That's why Esau does what he does. He doesn't care who he hurts, who he harms. He's going to destroy whoever to get to his goal. All right? And he's a prince on the wicked and on the left hand side. Go back to that real quick.
Real quick, in the NLT, that precept says, a ruler with no understanding will oppress his people, but one who hates corruption will have a long life.
So that's why it goes to that also goes to Isaiah 14th chapter. All right, because what they did to their own citizens, the Lord's not gonna give them no land, no nothing.
Yeah.
Because of one of wisdom. And what is this thing that he wants so badly? Keep going.
Khan, back in Sirach chapter 19, verse 24, he that hath small understanding and fear of the Most High is better than one that hath much wisdom and transgresseth the law of the Most High.
So that with that scripture, normally we'll bring it for Israelites. But that's also speaking of Esau. All right? Esau don't have no understanding. The ones that, well, all this knowledge he has the land of Israel. He got all the archaeology, all the archaeology. He knows all where certain bodies were buried. He prints his scriptures. Okay? With all that, yet he still don't understand what the Lord is saying. But us Israelites, through the Spirit of the Lord, has mercy on us. With the little that he gave unto us, the Lord's going to bestow that mercy. But keep going.
Come. It says, verse 25, there is an exquisite subtlety, and the same is unjust. And there is one that turneth aside to make judgment appear, and there is a wise man that justifieth in judgment.
Keep going.
There is a wicked man that hangeth down his head sadly, but inwardly is full of deceit.
Keep going.
Come. It says, casting down his countenance and making his making as if he heard not, where he is not known. He will do the mischief before thou be aware. And if for want of power,
and if the want of power,
he be hindered from sinning, yet when he findeth opportunity, he will do evil.
So and this is the opportunity that he's done. So he set the trap perfectly. All right. He lacks understanding, wisdom, and knowledge of the Most High. He pretends to be like the Most High. Now he's bestowing his true power and influence on the people, so that way because it's all about power. It's not about money. It's all about power. What's the ultimate form of power? Controlling your soul.
That's what G. Edward Griffin said. When a man has everything in the world, what is left for him?
It's power.
Power. You know, and at the end of the day, he wants power over the people, like the Most High. He wants power over. He has power over the earth right now.
Right.
That's why he's able to narrate and change the narrative that suits him.
Right.
Right. Making himself the Most High through his so-called science. You got Noah Harari even said that the new system where, you know, people are going to get so-called merging biology with technology, the only ones that's really going to benefit from that is those that own the algorithm. He said 90% of the rest of the people, they're not going to have this ability.
Yeah.
So basically, that's letting you know the super elite is the only one that's really going to benefit from the new society, which is not going to happen, because once this man pushes his agenda and on the whole world, Yahweh Shai is coming back.
Yeah.
And it's not going to just go smooth and like there's not going to be a war. No, there's going to be a war. There's going to be Because see, what Esau is not preparing for is the fallout. He don't understand the complete fallout of the situation. The scripture says things are going to get out of control. Troubles are going to get him on all sides. It's going to drive him to his feet.
Right.
So he's going to be perplexed. He's like, wait a minute, we didn't we prepare for this? And this shit's going to fall.
Right.
And that's going to fall. And then ultimately, Yahweh Shai is coming back.
Now the movie Don't Want to Leave the World Behind. The character said that. He said they were basically the secret cabal is allowing all this things to happen and hoping everything fall in line the way they want it to be. Because once things go out of control, it's out of control. All right, they can't narrate. They only can narrate the things that they could so-called control.
Mm-hmm.
That they can not control these later events. All right, that's why they need smart cities to get a selected amount of people. They're not gonna get the whole entire planet Earth hit. That's impossible. All right, even the Georgia Guidestone shows you they want to maintain 500 million because they know they can't control even that in that sense. All right, it's all about decreasing the numbers so that way you can have everything at your beckon, those that you can control. All right, and then you're gonna be a god. There was a video circulating about the elites talking about they're gonna be in God mode. All right.
Yeah.
And they said, if anybody's gonna stop me from being a god, I'm gonna destroy them.
I remember that Edomite said that.
Yeah,
he was on that interview. He said that. Yeah.
Yeah, and people that go beyond over everybody's head, but that's what the scriptures talk about. It's for the one of power. That's why the Lord. That's why he called him Lucifer.
Yeah. The light bearer.
The light bearer, because what? They telling that wisdom that they have is the left hand side wisdom.
With that knowledge they have. The knowledge of wickedness that they have.
And that's something that's given to them by the Lord.
Yeah.
Because according to Job 18, the 18th chapter, the Lord's going to pull that back from them.
Yeah.
All right? Isaiah 24 and 24 about the last verse, it tells you about the sun and the moon shall not come. The sun and wisdom and knowledge, they're not going to have no answers for that. All right? So the Lord is playing him as he's playing this. Scripture says what? The deceiver and the deceiver are his. So everything that this man has done, he's thinking he's in control. He's running a narrative, but the Lord is playing him.
Yeah.
All right.
I have found this. I was like the reason for smart cities.
Go ahead.
It says the reason for smart cities, such as transportation, healthcare, energy, and public services. Smart cities offer convenience, efficiency, and improved access to essential resources.
So you're going from a God-given right to go bestow whatever land that you want, have any children you have, to this man telling you that your privileges. Yeah. So now they're going to tell you to go in these cities so everything could be convenient. The average person don't even know how to hunt for their own food, how to grow anything, because they're city bound. And those that live outside of that, they're going to have to go into the city. Yeah. All right? That's what these major cities, I was talking to the elder brother Sabah, we were construction. He said that he had helped build one of the Amazon buildings in New York City. And within the Amazon building, he was saying basically like what happened in 2020, you had people that couldn't work, physically couldn't work. So they had to go home. So now they build a building where you could work from home. And then he said that they had a dog sitter, they had a dog park in the building. Yeah. All right, and this is in this city. So you add that plus the fact of New York City, they have the congestion toll.
I was going to get to that.
No, because it's gonna get everything's in there. Yeah. The congestion toll is not. It's to remove people from even coming down to the cities. All right, Cleveland, Ohio, supposed to be the first major smart city. Maui. Yep. They was gonna make a smart city, so they pushing all the people from their private homes into these major cities, so that way they could fully control everything you're doing.
Yeah, it says right here, thinking about Planet Moron. It says thinking about becoming a smart city. 10 benefits of smart cities: more effective data-driven decisions, Advancement in big data connected devices
Uh-huh.
have allowed cities access to information that's never been available before. All your personal data,
Mm-hmm.
well-designed data and analytics strategy gives city officials the ability to access and analyze a massive amount of information and easily glean meaningful, actionable insight. When a city can monitor desired metrics in real time,
So basically, it's your living. It's like a living. It's a pleasure thing. All right, like at your pleasure and will. A prime example. You gonna get what I'm saying? That Black Mirror. If you watch the first episode of Black Mirror, when I forgot the name of it was Metric, something like that. And then the guy, pretty much, he was on a bike, and every so often they have when they go home, go to their little cubicle. They have they're just surrounded by four walls TVs,
yeah,
and then sometimes you get to skip what you don't want to see, and they always throw some porn.
yeah,
So what they do is they're collecting the data and they keep throwing these things, these hints at you, and then while they're doing that, they're still taking money from you. So you gotta go on the bike,
oh yeah,
work your ass off again to get back to a certain status. So that's all they're doing. That's how they're gonna collect all that information of the people.
yeah.
Right?
And it also said too, effective big data applications and strategies provide a city with information to identify and staff police in high risk areas, for example, as well as forecast a plan for expansion in citywide population growth,
Mm-hmm.
and identify trends in citizens' interests, like you just said, concerns and needs. Big data and the Internet of Things offer endless possibilities. It says enhance citizen government engagement.
So basically now government, which means mind control,
Yeah,
which is gonna fully control who you are, what you're doing, how you think. So talking about Big Brother,
yeah.
that's what it's all about. All right. So there's no free will, no nothing. There's no benefits in that shit.
Nah,
All right.
it's just a draconian measures. These are all of this. They're using all of these big words, but in reality, it's just more isolation,
Right.
more information on the people that's in isolation,
Right.
more control over the citizens.
Right.
It says citizens today expect their cities to deliver robust, user-friendly digital services. Remember, everything is going digital. Driver's license, birth certificates, everything that you use on paper, IDs, information, all of that's going to go digital. In these cities, when you inside these smart cities, through your chip, they're going to be able to access all of that. They say
Right.
they can access, and that's the reason why. Another reason why they have in these 15-minute cities, so they can better track you
Yeah.
with the new system.
Right.
Because if you would just spread all the way out, they're gonna have to build monitors, which they got them towers all over the
Yeah.
place. But in particular places, it's even more. They got even more
Yeah.
because that's the area they want to focus on.
Yeah.
And that's so basically, if I'm in a smart city, let's say I jaywalk, immediately the police are going to be notified through
Yeah.
cameras. Well, they got that in China through cameras and other systems.
Yeah.
Hey, I was the guy that just illegally crossed the road.
Yeah.
So now they take my fine out. They already got me marked, and that's how it is. That's slavery.
Well, damn, the movie with Bruce Willis, not Demolition Man.
Oh, you talking about Fifth Element?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fifth Element. Yeah. It was getting him with all them fines,
Oh,
man.
constant fines. So this man already had that's what you call power of suggestion. He already had everything plotted out within his movies how you want things to do. The movie Surrogate, where everybody stays at home using a avatar body.
Yeah.
All right. These are the things that he's doing to the people, and the people not even understanding what's going on. And that's why you have lack of knowledge amongst the people, because people really knew they will take arms against these people. All right. To finish that off.
It says right here, improve transportation. It says smart city transportation investments.
And that's a lie too, because here in New York City, I mean, every place that you can look at, they're making bike lanes. Now you can rent the bicycles. They make it harder for people to drive.
Yeah, you can say it.
Right, which is going to talk about the carbon emissions and all this other shit.
Yeah,
Zero emission. That's what they're trying to do.
Reduce environmental footprint.
So by them doing that, it's gonna make people exercise more for your health. No, it's to have healthy slaves. That's all it is. okay, to have healthy slaves. They're doing the great culling is coming, and that great culling is to get rid of the majority of the people.
Yeah.
All right, that there's a lot of undesirables that's happening. When you watch the movie Handmaid's Tale, when you watch the beginning of it, it was harsh, huh?
They put all them jakes in the back of those trucks.
They took it's not only just the jakes, it's the facts of fertile women.
Oh yeah.
That was a concern, but overall, all the shit that you've been taught on this side, when it's time for them to implement their new world order, all that shit's gonna be thrown out. They don't need that shit no more.
Yeah.
This is part of the order out of chaos. Right now we in the chaotic state when things are gonna be more chaotic, and then the answer to all that is gonna be a smart city.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
It says smart city transportation investments are expected to rise over 25% annually over the next 5 years.
Who cares?
According to Smart City Press, connected transportation systems have some of the greatest potential to drastically enhance efficiency through a city, from enhanced traffic management to public transit riders' ability to track bus or train locations. Smart technologies allow cities to better serve citizens despite often rapidly growing population. And I brought this out because it said from enhanced traffic management. And right here in this city, in New York City, they got this thing now called they got cameras that's ticketing people that's in congested areas.
Yep.
Like here it is, you gotta get through this area, but they're gonna ticket you just because you are there. So basically, you're causing a problem. So here's a ticket. You know what I'm saying? So that is the part of the enhanced traffic management. And all over the city, they got cameras, and these cameras are not just for when people speed or cross a light illegally. They're gonna be able to watch you. So as you drive through the city, you're gonna be tracked. As you move about, if they're looking for you, if you're trying to escape this city, they're gonna find you.
Yeah, that's why you had a thing like you have Amber. I don't know if they have it. When somebody the Amber Alerts, because those are just launches to find people.
Yeah.
You're gonna have citizens snitching on each other. They're gonna have all this shit's coming. This is that dystopia future. Actually, get Second Ezra 15. It's all part of this dystopia future that they have plotted out. All right, and all you people are not worthy to be into that next level that they deem.
Yeah, you gotta be worthy.
You gotta be worthy, bro. And I gotta be real. You know, that's why they're gonna have cyber attacks, blackouts, and so forth, because they're gonna let the citizens do to each other what is necessary to be done.
Yeah.
You know, that's why even in that movie they said that what was that part of that 3-step program that they already knew.
Yeah.
People are gonna distrust each other. They're gonna find technology and then end up turning on one another.
Yeah.
So when they end up turning on one another, anybody that does survive those turn of events, they're gonna want to go back to the old ways.
Yeah.
Those are survivors that they're gonna go back to, and then they have to go into what? Those smart cities.
Those smart cities.
15 and what? 14.
It says, woe, 2nd Ezra 15 and 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh.
So that this is woe meaning death and destruction unto them that dwell in the world. Revelation 12 and 12 tells you that the devil is going to come down having great wrath.
Yeah.
It tells you in Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, by their justice or their law, all right, because everything's cooked up in the books. Now they're going to be justified for executing people publicly or deeming you that you are sick. I'm walking around, I see people with their masks on, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because they say, oh, the new strand is coming out. There's a new strand every fucking second. But nobody uses their brain, because the simple fact is, this is how they want things to be. You're being trained to do these things. Conditioned. Well, I'll say trained like a bunch of dogs.
Yeah.
But you being conditioned to do these things. All right? You know?
Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up to fight against another.
Which is what? Civil War. That's why they got April 2024, they have a movie called Civil War. All right? And it's part of an election year.
Yeah.
They didn't have the movie The Purge election year.
Yeah.
All right? Because it's going to be a conflict. And what the conflict is, two political parties has a disagreement. That was a big thing in Jamaica. I didn't realize this till I seen a documentary. Two political parties in Jamaica would literally have people fight, kill one another, because of the political stance. All right, that's why when the Jamaicans came into America in the 80s, they was most violent of them all, because you could live in one section and you believe in this political guy, and instead of just a verbal disagreement, you're gonna go head to head. While the two prominent people that's in power, they just verbally talking to each other.
They're friends.
They're friends. That's why you have the Democrats and the Republicans. All right. There's two forces, the red and the blue. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a great division. So the people are going to go against one another. You're going to have Trump supporters and non-Trump supporters.
Yeah.
All right. But people are going. That's civil war. Men versus women. Civil war. Okay. There's a great division.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It says, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings, no princes.
So whoever's in the position of power they're gonna disregard that. They're gonna take matters into their own hand. All right. It's gonna get to that point where people are just gonna say, you know what? I'm tired of bullshit. And you said this and that, and you never did nothing. That's what goes with Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, that the keepers of the house shall tremble. All right. Because you have the gatekeepers. The gatekeepers will be the people that you could locally come against. Your governors, your mayors, your certain public figures. They're gonna be able to get touched. While the elites, they already got their escape route.
Yeah. Real quick, that movie, what is it called? Guardians of the Galaxy 3. They had the Jake that was engineering these animals, right? He was putting all these technology into these animals and put them in an environment where he could control them.
Right.
And when it didn't work out, he just destroyed them, man.
Right.
You know? And those are all semblance of the future, what they want.
Right.
When I say the future, they want to control people through this new technology. And if they feel like you're not fit to live, like you're gonna go. You're not fit to live in the city.
Damn, I forgot the character's name.
Yeah.
It was a vibe, but he wasn't supposed to be a Jake. He looked purple.
Yeah.
But when you saying that everything wasn't perfect, he's gonna make things perfect.
Yeah.
So he had a godlike mentality.
Yeah, he got a god complex.
So that's why Esau is basically saying, that's why he's allowing people to be confused.
Yeah.
You know, he's basically saying that he is the Most High. He's gonna create you in his perfect image.
Yeah.
That's why when everybody got that, juicy juice, what they end up doing, they taking sides with those medical. You belong to Pfizer. You belong to Moderna. You belong to this.
Don't speak too much about that because they'll cut you.
Yeah, but what it is. That's all I said was certain things.
Yeah, they using them words. They're like, oh, cut them. Medical misinformation.
But the point is, you are part of that particular system.
Yeah.
You're under that umbrella. All right. That's what they want to do. They want to put people in a certain type of bracket to control it.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
And the funny thing is, at first we thought it was just martial law.
Yeah.
But now the Spirit has opened it up. Like, oh, it's really talking about smart cities.
Yeah.
All right. You're gonna be desired to. Why are you gonna be desired to go to a city? Because you're gonna try to leave the hell that's behind you.
Yeah.
Which were you watching? What's that movie you was watching?
Which one?
Today.
Oh yeah, A Boy and His Dog.
And what you telling me about? Just the particular scene.
Which one?
No, so he was breaking down. There was a city underground, and then.
Oh yeah. It was a whole world ran underground, and they were basically controlling the birth rate. They were controlling. They had this man in complete captivity down there, and they were using him to impregnate women via insemination, artificial insemination, and then they would kill him after he's done. It's like 30. He get 35 women. He get to impregnate, and then they'll kill him. And it was basically a damn cyborg assembly they had going on down there, and it was nothing but a bunch of Edomites living in a highly restrictive world underneath of the ground.
Now, what's funny? Okay, what year that came out?
75.
All right, so the other movie, Logan's Run, pretty much around the same time. Then you have
and it was set in 2024.
Right. So now with Logan's Run, you only live to a certain time, and after that, I think 30 was your when you, and that's according to them, your life expectancy was you supposed to die
Damn.
at the age of 30. And every woman doesn't belong. Women don't. Nobody belongs to nobody.
Yeah.
So you just pretty much sharing each other. So they just live for a certain period of time, and that's it. Then you got outside of the city, which was what the wilderness,
Yeah.
which was controlled by androids.
Yeah.
You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
So this man has made a manifesto with movies to tell you what his plan is all about.
Yep.
All right. So there's going to be smart cities. There's going to be cities where you cannot enter in without having that C hit. Point blank. Period. Finish.
Cut. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
Because what? Man is going to take action to their own hand. All right.
Yeah, so because of pride, the cities shall be troubled.
Right.
So like you said, they're gonna be in that. Man will take the power in their own hand, thinking that they can do it. It's theirs. You know,
Yeah,
that's their pride kicking.
Yeah. Because that's the thing that people been going by.
Yeah.
We are such and such. This can't happen in this country. They're gonna take arms into their own hand.
Yeah.
And they just waiting for you to do that for it because that's what they're gonna be justified. So bringing their wrath by their law.
Yeah.
All right. That's why you had Obama pass the NDAA Act, which is National Authorization Defense Act.
Yeah.
Which was what? Basically deeming anybody could be a terrorist.
And,
right?
And confiscating all public and private things, man.
Because what? You're a citizen.
Yeah.
So if you're a citizen, you go against the same your system, your government. They could take your property. Whatever you have into your possession, which goes into 2 Ezra 16 chapter, that shall take the goods and take your spoils and throw your stuff out. Roughly paraphrasing it.
Yeah.
So they have, by their law that they cooked up in the books, they're gonna be able to do that.
Yeah.
All right.
A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses and with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Because of but the key thing is tribulation. All right.
Trouble right there,
Jacob's
man.
trouble, which Jacob's trouble was the world's trouble.
Yeah.
All right. Jake is going to be the focal point, but there's a difference. The elect of the nation of Israel is going to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Just like in the movie The Handmaid's Tale, they rounded up a whole bunch of Jakes and threw their asses in the back of the truck.
Yeah. And you ain't seen them no more the whole movie.
No, it was non-existent.
Yeah, it was non-existent because only people that they really want to survive in this new system is Edomites.
Right.
Man. Those are the only ones that can benefit. That's why it don't make no sense to take your chip because it ain't gonna benefit us. It don't matter how much money they claim they're gonna give you on your chip or nothing. You're gonna be highly restricted and you worshiping Satan.
Yeah, right.
Worshiping Esau.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like at the end of the day, spiritually, you see that it don't make no sense because Esau is not a God. He can't save you. You know, and he's trying to cordon you off into these 15-minute cities and control you. He ain't warning you about the war that's coming. He ain't even talking about that. That's going to be one of the most destructive portions of this whole thing, besides the chip, and because the war is going to bring nuclear fire.
Yeah, right.
And right now, one of the biggest things they having an issue with military recruitment.
Right.
Nobody wants to go to the military.
Right.
Everybody want to get out. They say right now is the first time that the army has been under 1 million people. The military,
Right.
the U.S. military has been under 1 million people. I think it's like
450.
all together, all the services together, they said it's about 849,000.
Yeah.
So here it is. That ain't shit.
That's
You know, especially if a massive world war break out, they're gonna need millions of people.
And I was thinking about that shit too.
And that's
How would it get those people to go?
well through tribulation, through hardship. Okay, through coercion, via join the military, you'll be safe. You get your weapon, you get food. Hey, but you gotta take this chip. Because you ain't gonna, that's another reason you got these military age men from these different countries coming to this country right now,
Mm-hmm.
because either they're gonna fight for the other nations or they're gonna fight for America.
No, and what the other thing too, part of the recruitment statement, we mentioned of the juicy juice.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be able to live longer,
Mm-hmm.
they could use that as well.
Yeah, well, there you go.
You know?
See, because most of you fear death.
Yeah.
You know, the majority of people in this world, especially in this country, they don't look at death as a favorable thing.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? So again, you're gonna have people lined up begging this man for his chip with the kids and all.
Yeah.
Why? Because all they want to do is survive. They're not gonna be thinking about the Lord.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be asking Yahweh Shem Shai for help. They're gonna be trying to go to Esau for help.
Yeah.
And because you worship this man, the scripture says, woe to him that maketh flesh his arm.
Yeah.
You know, and Esau is just flesh. And what he said he's going to do to save you, is not really saving you. This nigga caused the whole situation from the jump.
Yeah. That's part of that
Yeah.
wicked wisdom.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Let me keep reading. I'm
No,
sorry,
that was it. That was it.
Fine.
Get Isaiah 32 and 5.
Okay.
All right, because that's part of this man's his wisdom. He's forcing people to go that route. He's leaving them no other choice when it comes down to poverty. That's why it says in Job. Let me get this real quick. That's why it says this in Job. Slack, yeah. Yeah, when it's time for me to do it, you want to act a fool. Job 2, and I believe it's 4, right? It says, and Satan answered the Lord, said, skin for skin, yea, all that a man shall have, all that man will get, he will give for his life. So whatever you have, you're gonna do whatever it takes to keep that same shit going. All right, that's why the scripture get that.
Isaiah 32 and 5. The vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the child said to be bountiful.
So the vile person, which is talking about Esau, Edom, he's going to be called liberal. That's part of the political parties. Liberal goes back to nobility, all right? Because he is wicked and he's fooled many people. He's no longer be considered royalty. They're not going to go by his words alone. Go ahead.
It says, for the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity to practice hypocrisies and to utter error against the Lord.
So basically saying that there's no creator, saying that the creator made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's a villain. All right. When you look up the term villain, it goes back to basically a farmer. You don't have to look it up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And show you the misuse of words. So a farmer, a boor, a servant. So the servant right now that's in power, the scriptures tells you, I seen servants upon horses and princes upon earth.
Mm-hmm.
This villain is using kind words and so forth to fool the people.
Yep.
All right. But read on.
It says, for the vile person will speak villainy, in his heart will work iniquity to
And go ahead. And that's what's iniquity? Sin.
Yep.
All right. Go ahead.
To practice hypocrisy and to utter error against the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh Shem Shai, to make empty the soul of the hungry.
Will make empty the soul of the hungry.
Yeah.
Who's that? The poor.
Yeah.
Who's the poor? Israel.
Israel, yeah.
All right. He's making your soul empty.
Yeah. It says, the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail.
Uh-huh.
Instruments of the churl are evil.
Now look up the word instruments. Actually,
I had it I wanted to read the NLT. I'll do it at the time.
Okay.
But the word for instruments in the Hebrew is kalayah.
Uh-huh.
It says article, vessels, implement, utensils, objects, implement, apparatus,
Implement.
Equipment, yoke, utensils, furniture, receptacle, general. It gives a better understanding in the NLT. It says, the smooth tricks of the scoundrels are evil.
Mm-hmm.
They plot crooked schemes. They lie to convict the poor, even when the cause of the poor is just. And that's what they do to Jake.
Right.
All those things, they use all of this equipment, but out right here in verse 6 it says, for fools speak foolishness and make evil plans. They practice ungodliness and spread false teachings about the Lord. They deprive the hungry of food and give no water to the thirsty. And it's not just talking about physical food and physical drink, but that's spiritual too. Because while you telling these lies against the Most High, spreading these false teachings, God loves everybody. His Son loves everybody. They're so-called white men. Christianity is about love and prosperity, and this is what God wants for you. And some of you say that the Lord don't exist. Some of you say that, you know, his people are gone, so now he's just dealing with the Christian church. All of that shit is bullshit, and you're not giving actual food to those who need it, which is the meek, the poor of the earth, which is the Israelites, and they're spiritually thirsty, they're spiritually hungry, you know. On top of the fact that you physically do this kind of shit, it says the smooth tricks of a scoundrel are evil.
Mm-hmm.
They plot crooked schemes. They lie to convict the poor. And you see that now. You see Jake getting out of prison after 40 and 30 years in the goddamn prison house, all because somebody lied and tricked them to get him put in there. Whether it was somebody of his own nation or whether it was a so-called white man trying to get these artificial numbers up. And after 40 and 30 years, you done served your purpose to this devil. So now they call themselves vindicating you and giving you freedom and might give you some money. All right? But they do these things, they lie to convict the poor, even when the cause of the poor is just. But generous people plan to do what is generous.
No, that goes off. No, that goes off though. But go to that the King James version.
Right. And verse 8. But the liberal deviseth liberal things.
Who's a real liberal? Who's a real nobles? The elect of the nation of Israel.
Yep.
All right. Because the Lord told us to do what? To go to the sick, the weak, the poor of Israel, and tell them the good news, the good tidings. All right. We was put on earth to preach the good tidings. Because everything we've been saying is what the devil's plotting against our people.
Yeah, we the only ones warning you what's going on through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. Because Esau's not warning you that he's coming down with great wrath.
No, he's warning you by not telling you the truth that he's coming down with great wrath. Yeah. That's why you have the revelation. What's it called? The reveal method, or the method of reveal. Mm-hmm. He put in his movies. So when he's put in his movies, if you don't see it and he come down, it's like, well, we told you he was doing it.
Yeah, but that's an underhand way to do things.
The Lord is telling
the Lord. I'm about to say the Lord is telling us this straight up.
Yeah.
We don't need no tricks. We don't need no guile. We don't need no flash. We don't need to subtly tell you what's really about to happen. So again, we're the only ones through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai that's warning his people. Yeah. Because this good news is just for us. I was thinking that when we was on the line earlier. I was like, yo, all these people walking by us mad, balling their face up, talking shit, you know, in their minds, you could tell they was doing it. And I'm like, yo, we out here with good news for our people.
Yeah, yeah.
But they ain't even trying to hear the good news. Yeah. You know, to them, all they hear is the negative things that they want to hear. Right. But they don't hear none of the good news. Salvation is coming unto our people. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Yahweh Shem Shai is coming back to defend us and redeem us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're the Israelites. We got a history. We got a rich culture. We're a nation that's above all these other nations. This is good news. Our enemies are going to be destroyed. We finally going to be vindicated. And to Jake, that's like the worst thing you could tell him.
Yeah, well, because Jake is not who they're supposed to be.
Yeah,
you know, they the inmate that came. What's that word?
Institutionalized.
They're institutionalized niggas.
Yeah.
All right. You love your you love your captor. You love your oppressor. Mm-hmm. To a point that when it's time for Freedom Day, your ass is like, I ain't going nowhere.
I'm gonna stay right here. A better house than this. You know what I'm saying? A better job than this.
You know, a white man taught me how to swim.
Yeah.
You know? I'll never forget that one. But that's how they mindset. The Lord's not concerned about that. Yeah. The liberal men of Yahweh Shem Shai is the elect of the nation of Israel.
Absolutely.
That's presenting. There's a point and date and time that is promised to us to be released from this hell, because this is prison. America has nothing but been a prison camp for us.
Yeah, open air prison, man.
This has been a concentration camp for us from the word exception. The word America itself means amargo, which means bitter. Yeah. All right, so this has it's been bitter for us since its birth.
Yeah.
All right, And here it is. We presenting that which is the release. This is a time of release.
Yeah, we're prisoners of war right now.
Yeah.
But the liberal devises liberal things,
Uh-huh.
and by liberal things shall he stand.
That's how why we stand by. All right. The Lord promised that He was going to come to deliver the elected nation of Israel, and that's what He shall do. But those that decide, Revelation 14:9, those that decide to say, you know what, I'm going to be a part of this system. There's a reward for that too. All right. There's a reward for that. Because all this undermining, putting people in more debt that was all part of the plan. There's no way in hell the average person can spend $100,000 to get themselves out of debt.
No. And what are they gonna pay?
Well, exactly. At the end of the day, that's a millionaire. This says a federal thing, but who owns the Fed?
Yeah.
And why you don't just clean out the debt straight up? They won't do it because they're the devil. But it was given that $600 for free. All right. That came with a fucking price. Here it is, you inflating this society, and the little that we can get back, you say, no, I'm not giving it back.
Yeah.
When the economy crashed in 2008, Obama decided to bail out the bankers, which was a stupid move.
Yeah.
Right?
Then
Then
they just continued on what they were doing.
Right.
I'm slacking, brother. What caused that what caused that recession was the shitty ass mortgages that they were leveraging.
Right.
Some banks, they knew what they was doing. Other banks, they were gilded into it, but they all did it. And so all 2008 did was just allow them to continue doing it legally.
And there was all the execs.
Yeah.
And then their excuse is, well, they know what they're doing. They know how to run things.
Yeah.
So there's always, like the scripture says, they're not in trouble like other men.
Yeah.
All right. If it was any other man, they would have been locked up.
Yeah.
Thrown in prison forever. All right. And it just gave you like what Bernie Madoff, and just like he's the fall guy.
Yeah. Well, that was a Ponzi scheme. It was one dude that got locked up for the 2008.
Out of everybody.
Yeah, it was one dude. I forget his name, but a good movie to watch is The Big Short, because it tell you about the whole thing. It was surrounded by mortgage-backed securities. So basically, they were leveraging mortgages of people with shitty ass credit. They were just giving mortgages away.
Mm-hmm.
That's why so many people lost their homes. And it wasn't just people that had private homes. You had landlords that were renting homes. So a lot of people that were renting these homes, they were paying their rent on time, but the guy wasn't paying the mortgage. And then they would leverage these shitty ass mortgages with people that couldn't even qualify for a house if they tried.
Right.
If it was on an up and up. And after 2008 they just made it harder for people to get into the housing market.
Right.
But yet it's still gonna be, that's the reason why they brought down the housing rate, to get more people into it now, so that it's gonna bubble. Now everybody's on TikTok talking about mortgage rates are coming down, they're dropping down. Yeah. They're already dropped. They dropped to 5%. Yeah. So now people are gonna rush to try to get houses, and as soon as they drop the rates, housing prices went up.
Yep.
You know, what the fuck happened between 24-hour period? Only thing happened was the rates changed.
Yep.
Now they're gonna get people into these balloon payments, because like, man, you gotta watch The Big Short. It's a really good movie. And the joint said that, like, basically there's this thing called they sucker you in these things with like a sweetheart deal, right? But the sweetheart deal could change after you sign the paperwork. Within months, your fucking interest rate, interest rate and mortgage payments,
property value
go up.
Yep.
You know, so it's not a it's called, I forget what it's called, but you got a fixed rate and a non-fixed rate.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the people that's getting these houses are getting mortgages with non-fixed rates.
Mm-hmm.
So basically right now, today is 5.4%, right? And you paying at 5%. Now when interest rates go up again, all that shit that you got gonna go up again.
Yep.
And that's what happened. People had like 10 houses, 10 properties selling, you know, but that shit was all a scheme. It's always been a scheme.
Mm-hmm. That's part of the American dream, which is a nightmare.
Yes,
and that's why people get caught up in this nightmare, this nightmarish state where you don't know what the next move is.
Yeah.
And when you don't know what the next move is, this devil's playing his dirty tricks.
Mm-hmm.
You lose all your property. All right. And when you lose all your property, you into poverty. And that's what it's all about, to put people back into poverty. So 2008 was one major event.
Yeah.
Then when it came to 2020, or 19. Well, it was 2020.
Yes.
They said, okay, we're gonna do the opposite. We're gonna give the people the money.
Yeah.
And as soon as they give the people money, which was supposed to boom the economy, what ended up happening? You end up paying everything back in the back end, which was what inflation.
Yeah.
It's because of supply and demand, which they controlled that. They control the narrative of the supply and demand.
Mm-hmm.
So this man has been playing dirty tricks on these people for fucking centuries and decades, all off of a lie that they broadcast to the masses.
Yeah.
And that was that American dream. You have to be, in order to live in the dream, you have to be asleep.
Yes, sir.
And then since they've been asleep, they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
All right. But the reality is going to take place real soon. Read it.
There's Revelation 14:9.
Uh-huh.
And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark
Let's go
on his
back.
forehead.
The beast is what? The Roman Empire.
Yep.
All right. The image is what is New World Order. Because under Rome, under the umbrella of Rome, you have all nations that speak in different languages,
Mm-hmm.
doing as they want. All right, do as they will. So the same narrative is being pushed here in America.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that image is the New World Order. Okay, read on.
It says, if any man worship the beast in his image and has received his mark in his forehead or in his hand,
Which is the mark is that charagma. All right, that charagma, which is a physical imprint. All right, putting a device in your hand or your either hand or in your body. That's the electronic orb saying that you belong to this sector of elites.
yeah,
This is who your soul belongs to.
yeah,
There's nothing new under the sun. Everything that they have done is doing of the ancient way of doing things,
yeah,
marking their slaves. All right,
yeah,
the coral reef to just branding
mm-hmm.
the slaves. So they're gonna implant you. They're gonna brand you, and if you decide to do that, because it's not gonna be a thing of what if they force me? They're not gonna force nobody to do it. They're basically saying they're gonna put so much pressure on you that you're gonna have to make a decision.
Yeah.
All right, and that's it. That's why going back to Job the 20th chapter, Job 2, saying he said for skin for skin, whatever man he will give whatever his life for that. That's why the Egyptians, the Canaanites,
Mm-hmm.
all that the neighboring people said we'll give our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Now people are gonna give up their souls
Yeah.
just for that.
Yeah.
All right, read on.
It says, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture.
Which is that wrath, that mixture is the judgment of Yahweh Hashem Shai.
And nuclear fire.
That nuclear fire. That's the end all to be all. All right? There's no in betweens. There's no, I'll just take it out at the end. You made your decision.
Yeah.
Like Apostle Paul said, when Yahweh Shai comes, he's like, I couldn't help you anyway. He's like, I can't know you can do. You know?
Yeah. It's the truth.
It's the truth. The Lord is bound by his words. He said, look, don't take this. If you take this, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right? He's a man of his word. He's not going to say, oh, all right, you took it, but I like you. Nah, none of that shit.
Yeah. You took it out right before I came, so that shows your faith. Nah, man, you're going to die.
You're going to die.
Because you worship this man. It's Yahweh Shai Shai that give. Yep. He make it rich. He make it poor. He give you food. He take it away. He gives you life. He gives you death. Yahweh Shai does these things. The Heavenly Father gave that power to his son, Yahweh Shai.
Yep.
So in the end, who you in the beginning, the one you trust is Yahweh Shai. Because he said, the scripture says, fear not him that can destroy the body, but not the soul. But fear him that can destroy both the soul and the body in hell.
And he said it, the way he said it with emphasis, he said, I forewarn you who you should fear.
Yeah.
Him that destroyed the body and the soul.
Yeah.
All right. He said, I forewarn you. So the Lord, Yahweh Shai, was like, look, out of everything to fear, he is the Father of all things.
Yeah.
He's the one to fear.
Yeah.
All right. That means that he's been there from the beginning. He's like, look, you don't want to mess with this one.
Yeah.
All right.
Real.
Yeah, that's why he basically said. And the Lord, listen, Yahweh Shai is coming back. There's gonna be people coming back from the dead.
Yeah, just like
this to be punished.
Yeah,
right?
just like it was when he gave up the ghost.
Yep.
He gave up the spirit. People came back to life, man, and lived full lives, bro.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Can you? I was stuck in my language. I always think about What if you sit home eating dinner? You know, I ain't gonna go to the crucifixion. I'm just gonna eat dinner, and then your dead uncle just knocking on the door like, boom, what the hell? You'll bug you out.
Yeah.
And then he don't just knock on the door. He come in and sit down, eat and live.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And die again later.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, like
that's the one.
This is the power that we dealing with, bro. You know, and they ain't gonna be no zombies like, no, they're gonna be like they just walked out the door. And they gonna, like the elder said, they coming back to get punished.
They're coming back to, and
the Lord put them spirits, He gonna put them spirits back in them bodies, and you coming back. You gonna come out that grave, and you gonna see the Lord, and that's gonna be your judgment.
Yeah, like that woman had that dream of Yahweh Shai. She said that he had a great authority with trillions of people, and he said he picked people to come to the door, and then she looked. She said some of her family members didn't make it.
And they had been serving the Lord for 40 years.
And she said she begged the Lord.
And he was like, no.
And it's not like how she said he had his mind already set. He's like, no. You don't know what they was thinking.
Yeah.
That's the power that we're dealing with. All right? Yeah. There's no escaping him.
Yeah. So Esau, he don't have that power.
No. Esau don't have no power. Everything that he does is the power of the Lord. You know, read on.
It says, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture, into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
So the angels, Yahweh Shai, the elect, is going to be looking down and witnessing like, damn. You know?
Yeah, man.
That's a scary thing to think about, yo.
I was about to say that. This is something to truly fear, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Fear is a gift, bro.
Yeah, you don't want to get caught up in that. You might think you tough. You might think you can take it. No. But that ain't something. The scripture said the same must know it at the death by pain. We
gotta understand, and we always try to emphasize the power of the Lord. The Lord can make time go fast. He can make time go slow. It's all in his hand.
Yeah, man.
All right? He's not going to burn those souls because he's a father of souls, but he's going to make his presence felt. And then on top of all that, he said his spirit is going to be in that fire. All right? Plus the heat, the fire that's going to come from the chariots.
And you ain't just going to disappear.
No.
Like they show you on TV. Nah, bruh. You're going to feel every bit of that.
Yeah.
You're going to remember this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Even if you come back, you're going to remember like, oh, shit. Yeah. It was that bad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
that's who we dealing with.
Yeah, we dealing with that kind of power, bro.
And that's why we have to have, like I stated, fear is a gift. And we bear that fear, and we Dawadi Bashim Yahshua for that. Because that's a gift that the Lord bestowed upon us. That's the shit that shook us to our core. So here, we don't want to play around with this.
No.
And we take this thing very deadly serious.
Yeah.
All right? And that's why, one more scripture. Wisdom of Solomon 6. Man, you might start at the first chapter. And read it, and you get the point.
Wisdom of Solomon 6:1. Hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand. Learn ye that be judges of the ends of the earth. Give ear you to the rule of the people, and glory in the multitude of nations. For power is given you of the Lord, and a sovereignty from the highest. Who shall try your works and search out your counsels?
Who shall try your works and search out your counsel? So everything that Esau have done, he's done, the Lord has searched out, and he's found guilty. All the other nations that joined onto him, they found guilty. All right? So you fell. Go on.
Because being ministers of his kingdom, you have not judged aright, nor kept the law, nor walked after the counsel of the Most High. Horribly and speedily shall he come upon you with a sharp judgment, with a sharp judgment shall be to them that be in high places.
And that's it. That's talking about the elites. Going back to James the fifth chapter.
It says, for mercy will soon pardon the meanest, but mighty men shall be mightily tormented. Man, fuck that. Hell no, bro. You can't get around that. That's cold, man.
That's the power that the Lord grants. That's why he's coming back for the host of the high ones, you elites, for everything we just mentioned through the Spirit. That's what you're guilty of. And Yahweh Shem Shai is going to meet you, and he's not going to meet you as a man. He's going to destroy you and his kingdom. All right, and those that have joined onto him, well, see you on the other side, Lord willing.
Yeah, Lord willing.
So with that, something real quick. Shalom to the elected of the nations. Shalom.
Hey, shalom.
That was quick.
Yeah.